It's like, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you caught me mid-sip. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer for us to go live. But here we are, it's Podcast Juice Live, Tuesday, February 17th. And you have myself, Pooh, Anthony L. Kennedy in the house. And I'm joined by, right now, Big Sexy. Big Sexy, how's it going?
Man, I'm beat. Was in court all day today. Just got home. And since you're Anthony L., I am Marcus B. Wiggins. Damn it. And so there. We have a lot to get into. And unfortunately, Q Storm is not here, which is not going to save him because I'm going to rip him. Because he and I have been having beef offline. But what else is
Good-natured ribbing, sir. It's all.
Oh no, that's all in good fun. But I'm gonna have to check him. And I'm sure I'll be hearing about it later.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, because I know Q Storm is watching. I know you watch it because I just saw you post something up on Facebook, so I know you watch it. Anyway,
wait, he's watching. You watching? Q, if you watching, jump in, man. Where you at? Come see me.
Because you gonna know, because he knows one of us is gonna say something that's gonna make him want to rebut, and then he gonna spend at least an hour up on here, and then he gonna complain to us on Facebook Instant Messenger. Man, I had to get up at 3 o'clock. Why did y'all make me stay up that late?
Because that's half the fun.
Q Storm, he that brother that got to win at all costs. He will go down. He's the brother, like Steve Harvey said, ain't no way in the world no black man would be playing as in the band as the Titanic go down. That's Q Storm.
Yep. I'm going to finish the song, goddammit. Oh, yes.
But anyway, we got a number of topics that we're going to get into tonight. Michael Dean, our esteemed Chief Podcast Officer, will be joining us in a few, and you might be seeing a little empty box at the bottom right. That'll be occupied by Sean Hill, Mr. Hill Street Views himself. He'll be back in just a second. But one of the things I wanted to get in real quick, we're big music fans. We started with the Prince podcast, but we actually can pay respects to other musical geniuses that are out there in the world of music,
yes.
And one of them being Stevie Wonder. Now, we went hard and heavy on the Grammys as they pumped up this whole watch this tribute to Stevie Wonder, and it ended up being a 4 or 5 minute harmonica display with Usher of all people. Now, no disrespect to Usher, but I'm just
speak
saying,
for yourself.
Let it go.
All right.
No disrespect to Usher, but of all the musical talent that is out there that can really do Stevie Wonder justice, and I understand that it's a ratings thing, and Usher still can get the ratings because they're not gonna mess with Chris Brown, and Chris Brown better not even try to do a Stevie Wonder song. But that was very lacking. So, but I guess that was a taste for us as they got into a really good tribute that aired last night on a CBS, a Stevie Wonder tribute. They had artists such as the caliber of Sam Shireen, Beyonce, Babyface, Pharrell.
I'm sorry, Sam Shireen?
Sharon. Hey, come on. I pronounce things phonetically. Come on.
Okay.
Like when it's in doubt, I'm gonna pronounce it phonetically. Okay. Anyway, Lady Gaga, Tony Bennett, and apparently, what Big Sexy is going off on Q about is something that occurred between him regarding Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. You want to fill our guests in, our listeners in?
Well, what happened was, Q. No, just felt like saying that. What happened was, Q went on Facebook, and not only, in fact, let me pull up the quote so I do not, misattribute the quote here. All right, I'm loading my Facebook as we speak. But Q made a comment about the questioning for lack of a better phrase, the genuine feeling that Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett had for Stevie Wonder. And he said, where is it? He said, I'm questioning, wait, here it is. Here we go. Q says, and I quote, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga owe a lot to their record label handlers. I'm sure it took some doing to get them together on the stage with Stevie to make the public think either of them knew who Stevie actually was. Meanwhile, their label is looking for any uptick in sales of the Bennett-Gaga collaboration album. Now, That's two parts.
Wait,
I
so there's
can
a
agree.
Bennett Gaga collaboration album?
I didn't know there was one either. So
Wow, that's
so
interesting.
I will give Q that. The labels are always doing shit like that, to pimp up, their artists. That's not unusual. But this whole premise of making the allegation that neither one of them know who Stevie is, and on top of that, Q followed up with something that I have said, which is gimmick infringement. Q followed up with, "I said it." Really? Really? Ripping me off now?
He didn't even go with the full phrase. It's
And
there
he
it
fucked it up.
is.
He
I
fucked it
said
up.
it.
And the thing is,
That's like saying to beat the man.
based off that comment, we got into it on that little thread, and I'm like, Q, my position is you don't know what these people know or who they know or what they're about, man. You can't make that assertion just because you, Q Storm, are unaware of anything that they may have done together. Now, had you said that I, Q Storm, don't know or am not aware, that's fine. But to make it a blanket statement like that, and then one of our brethren who is, well, conspicuous absent in that little blank window we see down there, Sean pulled up two collaborations that Stevie and Tony Bennett did on separate occasions. So,
Oh,
Q,
really?
oh yeah, he pulled them up. So, like, Q, you're once again, well, wrong, as usual. So, you can't make a blanket statement like that and A, have nothing to back it up, and B, just assume something because that's what you think because of your own narrow views. Yeah, I said it. Now, that's the proper quote. So, I don't know why he felt so compelled to fire on Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga, of all things. Now, I could see him firing on like somebody new, or like the woman who did the song with Babyface. Who was she?
I have no idea who that is. Oh,
Exactly.
Ariana Grande.
Who the hell is she?
Well,
Get out of here. Okay, fine.
She's the new Britney Christina.
Okay, so she ain't nobody. Yeah, so I can see him getting on that.
No.
Wait, whoa. I mean, from on the level of being someone invited to something like this for Stevie, she ain't nobody.
Okay, good point.
Tony Bennett, you can't fuck with Tony Bennett. Gaga, I could have questioned, but then I saw a performance of I Wish. Dude, man, you need to back up, Q. She held it down, man. I don't know what your problem is.
I mean, other than that nose, I mean, Gaga got it going on.
Yeah, the nose is definitely, wow.
With the vocals and that body, I don't want to diminish her to just be physically pleasing. But Gaga, I don't particularly care for a lot of her agenda pushing music, but I mean, come on, that voice, she got it. Now, I can see Q questioning Lady Gaga as she's a youngin, but Tony Bennett.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, for her being a youngin and relatively compared to Stevie, new to the game, yeah, I can see that. But Tony fucking Bennett, really? Come on, man.
Well, you know what's even funnier about that is I just watched the special like about an hour or so ago, and there's clips of Tony Bennett with Stevie Wonder at the Grammys on like 3 different occasions. So they're hanging out. So unless they just put them next to this random black guy who's blind and has braids. And I asked him about that. He's never answered since. I'm like, Q, so are you gonna finally take that? This brother will not take an L.
Nope.
Just save his life. And
all due respect, he learned that from Michael D. Because Michael D.
Michael take an L. Michael take an L.
I don't know. He'll devil advocate. He will devil advocate.
but even Lady Gaga told the story, and Big Sexy, you alluded to it, so I'm sure you saw it. She told the story about how her parents had the CD, and that was one of the first things that she listened to before she broke into her very good rendition of I Wish.
Uh-huh.
So she knows who Stevie Wonder is too. And so I'm with you to say that these artists don't know who Stevie Wonder is. And then he said, well, maybe has Lady Gaga collaborated with Stevie? And that I don't know. I couldn't find anything, but that still doesn't mean anything. I mean, there are artists up there that probably the band Perry probably hasn't collaborated with Stevie.
And they held it down too. I was not familiar with the band Perry, but they held it down.
You know what? You know what? Every singer except for, and I can't stand the song, so I didn't watch it. The Italian guy who sang "I Just Caught."
No, wait. Are you saying because you don't like the song or you don't like his performance?
I didn't watch the performance because I can't stand the song.
I didn't like Jennifer Gardner.
Wait.
Hudson.
Jennifer, wait. That
I don't
dude,
like
Andrea Bocelli, I believe his
Oh,
name.
wait, whoa, Sean,
Might
you
not
can't
pronounce
fuck with
it
Andrea Bocelli, man. Come on now.
I'm like,
No, hold on.
that dude
What-
technically sang that song better than Stevie. As
Listen
far
to
as
what
the
I
stuff he was doing. Shit.
in the words of our host Michael Dean. Let me be clear.
Okay.
I hate that song. That song is not on my iPod. I do not have that song. I despise that song. So as soon as I figured out that was the song he was going to be singing, I fast forward to the next performance because I didn't want to hear that song because I don't like it.
I hate to go to a Tyler Perry play.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Tyler Perry play. I believe it was Medea's family reunion, and there's this part where all the black folk up in there get this busting out these like old school jams, and there's this white dude. He's playing like a counselor or something. He's just standing, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, I think I feel like because of all this good songs y'all talking, I feel in the mood. I feel a song coming on, and he busts out with a hell of a rendition of "Before I Let Go." I believe the Jeffrey Osborne, I believe, right?
Cool.
Yeah, and oh boy, he came out. I'm just looking like, who is this Italian opera? What the hell? And he started those first few lyrics of "I Just Called to Say I Love You." I'm like, God damn, this dude is singing the hell out of this. I would want a copy of that. That's how good he was with that.
Let's put it this way.
A different tape on it.
Let's put it this way.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you saw the Jill Scott.
She sucked too.
I
didn't like that performance. I didn't like it. What song was that again?
Ass.
Nah.
Yeah.
That is Stevie Wonder's best song in my opinion. As far as lyrically, you can't touch that song lyrically. As far as a love song,
I guess we're gonna have to do a top 3 Stevie Wonder.
We're gonna get into this.
It has the lyrics. I'll be loving you until the day the earth turns right from left. The 8 times 8 times 8 is 4. I'll be loving you till the days are no more. I mean, from that to I just called to say Right, exactly. That's what you say. I'll be loving you until 8 times 8 times 8 is 4. That's something that's
I get it.
That's something that's gonna never happen. Exactly. So until that happens,
I show him like, huh, Stevie, what?
So you take those lyrics and then you take I just called to say I love you. I'm like, how does the same guy write? It's almost like how does the same guy that wrote Purple Rain write Purple and Gold? It's almost like.
Okay, man, come on. No. See, if you had said the man that produced the Purple Rain album did the Batman album, I could have been there with you because I was like, simple money, and that's what he did. I just called to say I love you.
Wasn't that in the Woman in Red?
Yep.
Yes.
Soundtrack money. Money.
I tweeted out that from all of the songs, and let's just be honest, Stevie Wonder has a catalog. He has probably one of the most deepest, richest. Well, I wouldn't say deepest because he's not very diverse in his catalog, but close enough to Prince because Prince he has that rock. So that's why I say it's not as deep as Prince. But anyway, so by I'm gonna say by the last 15 minutes of the program, I'm like, look, where's Maybe Your Baby? Where's Love Light Flight? Where's Do I Do It? Knock Me Off My Feet? And he didn't give us that, but they got Stevie to come out there, which I like. I like the fact that they're like, okay, look here, we got to give him Stevie. We got to give him Stevie. And when he busted out with Overjoyed, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm feeling it.
I got to give a shout out to Greg Fillinganes. That band held it down the whole night.
Oh no way. I'll disagree with that, but first.
Oh come on, man!
Let's bring in the chief podcast officer.
Michael, would you please speak to your friend here?
The one and only Michael D. The one and only Devil's Advocate, Michael D. The person responsible for the phrase "pulling a Michael D." Mr. Michael.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can,
sir. Yes, we can.
To your boy, Michael. Let him know what the deal is.
Well, be clear. I didn't see the show yet, so.
Oh,
sorry.
you had to have your milk last night and Ma tuck you into like cute?
Yeah, pretty
Oh!
much. That's all right. Now, how come
Not,
Q is
not
not here?
mom
I
or
see
Ma. I'm
him
talking about
online.
Ma.
How come Q is what, Mike?
I said, how come he's not in here? I see him look like he on Facebook or something.
Yeah, I
Yes,
called
he
him
don't
out.
want none.
Yeah,
He don't want none. He know. He know he was wrong yesterday with his commentary.
Yeah, I need to know about what was going on with the what's he talking about? Tony Bennett
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He took a shot at Tony Bennett. Like, really?
and
Come on,
and failed.
man.
And his timeline went real silent after that.
Now you know we're gonna catch it later on.
No, we not. No, we not. Come on. No.
He's gonna blow us up on Facebook.
Of course.
So I will admit, and we talked about this off air, but I will admit, Beyonce when she did, I believe they said she called it
Again, fingertips, man. Part 2.
That's what
the song.
I just said it. Fingertips Part 2.
All right.
She killed. Mike, you got to see that opening performance because they're smart. They put Beyonce right at the front of the.
Well, you have to.
show.
Yeah, she's gonna draw some viewers.
She shut that down. And she showed me a whole different side that she ain't just a twerking, booty shaking, love anthem singing type of female. She can do it. She would be great. She showed me right there in that performance, and maybe I'm just caught up in the moment because I've never seen her do anything like that before. She showed me right there she would be great in any period. And I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan, so for me to say that tells you how much I love that performance that she gave.
Well, I love that
You
song too. It makes me feel like I'm 4 years old again. I love that song.
But she updated it to the
Yeah.
to now, but at the same time paying homage to the roots of that song.
I think that she did good with that, but I wish she would have left higher ground to the fellas, to the guys that were performing.
I'm glad
That's
you
just
said
me.
that.
Damn.
Why didn't they just get the Red Hot Chili Peppers to do Higher Ground? Because they've covered it on one of their albums years ago.
Because the Red Hot Chili Peppers aren't popping right now.
And this
I'm
was
sorry,
this was
Babyface is?
well this was taped this was taped this was taped right like before the Grammys, like the night before or either that same day. So a lot of the performers that were there were already there for the Grammys, and Red Hot Chili Peppers aren't.
I'm sure they're not on tour either, though.
So what?
I'm sure they're not on tour either.
No, but
I mean, no shade, but
no. I mean, they were just using people that were already there for the Grammys. They're not gonna fly. They don't have to fly Red Hot in because they're in LA, but.
Here's the question: are y'all disappointed Prince didn't make that show?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to have seen him, but then what would he have done? I mean, he's the only.
Maybe Your Baby. That's the one.
I was gonna say that's the only song I've seen him do. Now, what I thought was kind of funny was Pharrell, and
what the hell was those pants and those shoes?
well, not that aspect.
That was
I was
hilarious.
I was about to tweet. Are you kidding? Pharrell about to make pea coats popping for men? So I did a Google search and saw that they do make men pea coats, and I was like, okay, let me not tweet that out.
But I just found it funny that he performed a song with the same theme as Happy. Don't you worry about a thing. I'm like, oh Lord, he go. I said, please just don't interpolate Happy into that song. Just leave it alone. Just
Did he actually? Did he sing the song?
He and another guy. Yeah, he sang
I
half
think
of
his
it.
boyfriend or something like that. I don't know what it was.
No,
Oh,
the man's
right.
married. Big sexy.
Jokes.
I mean, I know that don't
Who's
mean nothing in
jokes?
2015, but I'm just saying the man's married. Respect the marriage.
So
Anyway,
so
but I thought that was one of the best performances. I loved it. I enjoyed that version.
who was the stand-up performance? Was it?
Beyonce, Pharrell, to me, Andrea
Bocelli.
Bocelli, Stevie Wonder.
Stevie shut it down. Again, I like Annie Lennox, man. I mean, I never get tired of her voice.
But
I
some-
thought the band Perry did a nice job.
I think they were the standout. I thought the selection of song that they of all the songs in this catalog. I mean, everyone had picked a good song. But you wouldn't think that they would pick a song like that, kind of that politically charged, kind of thing. And I love that, even the guys did the Jackson part, that doo doo up.
That's cut.
But it just goes to show you, songwriting, good songwriting will never, no matter who's covering the song, the essence of the song will always ring through.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I was going to say, you take a band like the band Perry, who is, I believe they're a country group. I'm not sure because I don't follow them. But they did justice to You Ain't Done Nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, they tore that up. I wouldn't mind if they have a studio version of that. I wouldn't mind having it.
Now, the one thing I will say, I know Big Sexy said that he thought the band All Night was good. For me, they were able to duplicate Stevie's music, but they didn't. It was missing something to me. It seemed too homogenized. It didn't have that funk, that stank, that
Well, it had to be. It had to be because you have different types of people out there, and some of their range is limited on a lot of places. So no, man, they were versatile. That's the key.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if you're gonna play some of those songs, like he did, like at the end of the night, Stevie did Superstition, and I'm just looking like that ain't Superstition. I mean, you doing the music, but I'm not. You ain't got me feeling it. Like I've seen some of his live performances from the '70s. I understand that was Stevie and that was Stevie's band, but they didn't actually give that feeling to it.
Oh, they didn't give that feeling to you when Overjoyed? Come on now.
That was Stevie. That was Stevie.
Okay, all right.
Come on. That's like saying that, Prince didn't give you that feeling at the door. That's all Prince. Come on.
Now I'm kind of lost. Somebody did Overjoyed on the show.
Stevie did Overjoyed.
He came out in the end and did a medley of his song, and
he let people know what's up. That's pretty much what he did.
Because I thought it was. Did they do every song off of that?
No,
album?
no. It wasn't all about that album.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was kind of confusing as well. But I mean, it's for the mass consumption audience. They probably have to go through a lot of his.
And see, Mike, I think before you got on, Ant was talking about. No, I was taking it back. Sean was talking about how somebody did. Andrew Bocelli did. I Just Called to Say I Love You, which was a song I don't need to hear again either. But he did something different with it. And Beyonce did Fingertips from back in 1964, I believe. So everybody took a little something from different times.
So
I think.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think Lady Gaga was a surprise of the night for me. I mean, I've never liked anything she's done, but she sung the hell out of "I Wish." I was like, "What? Go ahead." Although she didn't change the lyric, she didn't change "Nappy Headed Boy." But,
that's fine though. That's fine. I'm okay with that. It's not hers to change.
But she's always been questionable anyway. So maybe that lyric does fit.
Well, then there's that.
So I mean, check that. If you have it saved on your DVR, you must go back and watch that. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I want the audio from that too. I'm gonna try to. I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure it's floating around.
Question for you guys: who would you think they would do next? Like who's worthy to have
something like that? You know what? I've said this before, and I'll probably get heat from people, which is fine. As far as I'm concerned, right now there are 3 living geniuses in music: Prince, Stevie, and Paul McCartney. Everyone else is playing catch up. Yeah, I said it. So until a person, and they don't need to be a genius, but until you come up with something as groundbreaking as Songs in the Key of Life was, you don't get this. Now that means it's got to be groundbreaking and stand the test of time, because I was on Facebook and I ripped Usher, and I'll rip him again. He doesn't deserve this. Confession sold a lot of albums. I looked it up. It sold a bunch of albums. But will it still be something people talk about 20 years from now, 40 years from now? Hell no. So you need to find someone who warrants that type of adulation.
I think somebody who has catalogs of songs, and actually would be kind of interesting to see people try to do this, is George Clinton. But that'd be more about the music than the actual lyrics.
No, you know what? As much as I like George, no. I mean, because you take their peak from like the mid 70s to like 81, 82. I mean, it was heavy.
I know.
It was heavy, but no, he doesn't warrant that.
I got 2. which is blasphemy, but I mean, okay, why not? Luther Vandross.
Luther didn't
Right.
write.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as a catalog of songs, I mean,
But no.
he
The
is
catalog goes to the writer. It ain't his. So he didn't write it. So he don't count.
Well, he wrote some, not all.
Well,
Not all. Well, nothing. No. If you're talking songwriters, someone like Carole King, she wrote a bunch of hits for people. She
Yeah,
would
true.
want something like that.
but I would think the most obvious choice would be Michael Jackson. But I mean, he didn't write all those songs. But I mean, they're so associated with
See,
him.
and as
I
much
would
as
think his catalog would warrant somebody doing a show like this.
I see, Michael is that rare exception because Michael transcended every fucking thing.
Yeah.
People could take this piece of Michael, Usher, thieving bastard, or that piece of Michael, but Michael transcended everybody. So that could I could see that with Michael. Michael could warrant that. People could pull that off because it wouldn't always be about, well, I'm going to go up there and dance like Michael. Usher. Other people could take, like Alien Ant Farm could do Smooth Criminal a different way.
Right.
But
And things like that.
the thing with that is the only thing that I would fear that would happen is the focus wouldn't be on the songs. It would be on each artist trying to quote unquote recreate the video with the video associated.
Yep.
Someone doing the Billie Jean.
Yeah, but that's a big part of his legacy. I mean,
But you had just said like who would do something like they did for Stevie, and of course Stevie was about the music. For me, I gave my choice Saturday, who I think that, something like that should be done for is Bill Withers. I would say he has just enough, in his catalog.
Deep catalog, yeah.
Yeah, and familiarity, and people. You got Lovely Day, Ain't No Sunshine, Grandma's Hands, Lean on Me, I Can't Write Left-Handed. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that people.
This would sound blasphemous. I agree with you saying, but a younger person would argue, then why don't they have R. Kelly up there? Because he probably arguably has.
Because he's actually pissed off people.
I mean, I'm just saying, he's got
that
a ton of hits.
The same way
USC
didn't invited. I would say the same way USC didn't invite O.J. Simpson to Homecoming. There you go.
Well, O.J. Simpson is a convicted killer. I mean,
I'm
not convicted killer, but he's a felon. He's a felon. Well, I'm just saying, you could argue that R. Kelly would. I mean, he wrote his stuff, and he's got tons of hits, regardless of his personal life. But Bill,
I think a group that would do well.
But I don't think R. Kelly stuff is timeless though, and everyone we named.
Depends on who you ask.
Everyone we've named so far has been timeless. Bill Withers,
R.
Michael
Kelly
Jackson.
hasn't put in that length of work yet.
Just because he hasn't been around as long
Exactly.
yet, but he has tons of albums. Like,
I'm not saying there's no tons of albums.
He was
But will they
just
stand
here
up
last
to
year.
me?
Well, yeah, they have. When did Foreplay come out? Or 12 Play come out?
1993, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Well,
Ain't that
I
what
think
Bump and Grind?
the band that probably could do it, and they have enough hits, is Earth, Wind, and Fire. They can get male and female.
Well, Earth, Wind, and Fire, yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
That'd probably be BET as opposed to Grammys, but I'm just saying.
They
I don't know.
don't get on
I
fire.
think
Earth, Wind, and Fire can crossover. Yeah,
But
I
they
agree.
do it, but it wouldn't get a television special out of it.
But you say that about the
They
Beatles
could.
too, though.
You think
And you
Earth, Wind, and Fire would get a television special?
I do.
I can see
Yeah.
that happening. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Stevie? Okay, well, yeah.
Depending on depending on who you get to perform.
That's true.
If you get some heavy names, they'll do it.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
they'll
yeah,
definitely do that.
Definitely check that out if it's on your DVR.
But the thing is, though, with the Michael Jackson tribute idea,
Moving on, there was another big event that took place. We're talking about a huge anniversary.
Guy running his mouth without his headphones on. You hold your socks. Hold your socks. One thing that's wrong with the Michael Jackson plan is that means we have to deal with Jermaine and the Idiot Brothers.
Oh,
And now if you can keep them off of it, that's fine.
Not necessarily.
Except Janet. You can have Janet on, but the rest of them, no.
See, but if you have Janet, all Janet better do is dance. I don't want her singing anything. And
she can come out and do Scream. She did it with him. That's fine. But
I think
but
Janet's
Jermaine,
done,
damn.
man.
Well, Janet's being rich over Dubai. That's what she's doing.
The thing to it, Michael, we've had that already. We had that in 2001. I mean, I know that was a long, long time ago. But there really hasn't been anything. There was no new material since then to warrant doing it again.
Stevie's not doing a new material. It's based off of a classic album.
Yeah, but we haven't had that from him before. That I know of.
Right.
I thought the one they did for Prince was pretty good when Esperanza Spalding stole the show.
It wasn't long enough for me, boss.
Her performance. She shut it down. Shout out to Big Ken who turned me on to her.
Pause again.
How will you get a grip?
Pause much again.
Hilarious.
I'm sorry, I'm just fucking. I've been drinking on my homeboy's spice rum Chairman's Reserve, so this might be my last time on the show. Michael D may kick me off.
That's your Four Loko.
All right. Anything else on Stevie, sirs?
Just respect, man. Respect to Stevie, man.
Admiration and respect, guys. Genius.
When you take the time to look through that man's catalog, you just be like, fuck.
And I like Stevie because he stood up to Berry Gordy back in the day. He said, look, I want to write and produce my own stuff. I'm done doing this fingertips stuff. I'm done being a little Stevie Wonder. Either you let me write or I will walk.
Here,
he hung out.
Here, I got one question for each of you, and keep it brief because we're going to move on to another topic. Essential album. Go. Which one?
By Stevie?
By Stevie.
Oof.
Only one. This is the desert island question. You can only take one.
I'll say this, and it might be a cheat.
No greatest hits.
Well, that's what I was going to say. that aquarium one or whatever?
No.
Talking Book for me.
Talking Book? Okay.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to say.
Intervisions for me.
Why? Because that's maybe your baby.
Intervisions for me.
That's another good one.
Big Sexy? Did we lose Big Sexy?
Oh.
Oh, actually, yeah, we did. We dropped off. I guess he'll be signing back in.
All
Hopefully.
All right. Well, moving on. Go ahead, Ant.
Yep, there he is. Hey, Big Sexy. So Sean asked the best.
Not the best. Essential. The Desert Island question. You can only take one Stevie Wonder album, not a greatest hits album. Which one are you taking?
Why don't you go ahead, Ant?
Yeah, I think he might be having some issues with his mic.
No, I'm all right. I'm back.
Moving on. Oh, okay. So, ask your question again, Sean.
All right, Big.
Third time's
All right, Big Sexy. All right, so Desert Island question. You can only take one Stevie Wonder album, not a greatest hits. Which one are you taking?
Clearly, it's Songs in the Key of Life because it has the most material on it.
Okay. So we got two talking books, one Intervision, and one Songs in the Key of Life.
Now, if it's a singular album and not a double album, it will be Intervisions.
So 2 and 2. All right.
So something else was monumental happened over the weekend. We got the 40th anniversary, which is actually inaccurate, of Saturday Night Live. It's inaccurate because Saturday Night Live started in October 1975, and it's February 2015. So
you're young, man. I remember when the show debuted with George Carlin in 1975. I was 11 years old.
Now, they had a huge amount of stars, past and present, from the cast of Saturday Night Live, as well as some guests. Sarah Palin, Jerry Seinfeld, which, by the way, fuck you, Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, come on.
We will get into the bullshit that he decided to spew.
We'll get into that.
They had Emma Stone. They had, did they have Tony Bennett? I think they had Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga there, too. Goddamn. Miley Cyrus, Kanye West, which, goddamn. We'll get into that, too. But did everybody on the panel watch this show?
Yeah,
I'm about halfway through it. It's a long show.
Is that a shaking your head, Michael D?
I didn't watch it. I don't normally watch that show, so I haven't.
Okay. Dude, do you have it on your DVR at least?
No, I don't have a DVR. I just never really watched the show, so I wouldn't.
You were not curious about what they were going to do? None of that?
None of the performers I really wanted to see. Now, y'all talk about it. Go ahead.
All right, Michael Dean. There you go. Everybody, Michael Dean. Anyway.
Go ahead, man.
So Sean, did you give us your thoughts on it?
Well, I don't watch the show regularly. The only time I watch it now if there's someone hosting or musically that I want to see. But I did watch periodically and sporadically over the years. And I gotta say, they did a pretty good job with their compilation videos and bringing people back. I think the biggest disappointment of the night was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw something about this though. I heard that there was something going on with the live where they missed a cue or something, and he kind of maybe freaked out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's what I heard.
For those that didn't see it, so they come back from commercial. Here's Chris Rock. He comes out there, and pretty much you swear he was the preacher talking about Jesus. He just went on and on about Eddie Murphy, how he saved Saturday Night Live. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have, and the seasons that he was on, they wouldn't have been able to get to the 40th season. They talked about how great he was, the jokes he did, the fact that while he was a cast member on SNL, he was doing 48 Hours and Trading Places, and he was like the first cast member to actually be the host of the show, and he was talking about how they was hating on him for that, which to me is like, well, it is what it is. So after all that build-up, here comes Eddie Murphy, and he pretty much gave the Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam end of the show.
Oh, Lord.
That's good.
He's like, pretty much like, thank you, appreciate it. All right, later.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it?
That's a good analogy because that's basically what it was. And then it seemed like he was waiting for them to go to break, and he even says, "Aren't y'all going to break?" And then they go to commercial. So I don't know if they were, from what I'm hearing on the technical side, they were expecting him to do more. So that's why they were not going to go to break when they were quote unquote supposed to, because hey, you got Eddie Murphy here. He's gonna rip. He's gonna do something. He's gonna talk about somebody.
Pretty much, you go as long as you think you should go. And he was like, I'm done.
I mean, it's the first time he's been back in 30 years, right? 84 or December of 84.
They sent out a press release about this.
But let me say one thing about him hosting the show. I didn't know this until I was doing some research on it. He hosted the show because Nick Nolte was supposed to host that week, and Nick Nolte got drunk at a Studio 54 party and was too hungover to host the show. So Eddie stepped in at the last minute to do it. So it wasn't like they were like, "Hey Eddie, you're the cast, you're the draw. We want you to host the show." No, it was like, well, we had your co-star, so why don't you just do it? You know. So that was why
the choice was between Eddie or Joe Piscopo doing his Frank Sinatra character as the host for that show, and it was decided, let's let Eddie do it because of the relation to Nick Nolte, and that was that.
Now, what's your girl's name? The girl you hate on that's going to be in Ghostbusters?
Leslie Jones.
I see what you're talking about. Oh my God, she was cooning on that. Oh, I was like, really?
Now, here's something that was interesting. They showed some of the audition tapes of some of the cast members that auditioned, as well as some people that had auditioned that they didn't take. People like Jim Carrey, Stephen Colbert. I'm trying to think. There was
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Which I'm thinking like, Lauren Michaels, you really passed on these people?
Well, Kevin Hart, he passed on Kevin Hart and ended up with, who's it, Kel Thompson or Kenan Thompson? Whatever the fuck his name is, the fat dude from Kenan and Kel. Really? Now, I'm not a Kevin Hart fan, but he's better than that guy.
For Saturday Night
and Tracy
Live,
Morgan. Yeah, I went there too.
I don't think Kevin Hart could do characters. You know what I mean? And impressions.
I don't think he's ever tried to.
Yeah, that's true.
Did Tracy Morgan do anything? The answer is no.
Hey, he did what he needed to do. He got in good with Tina Fey. That's all that matters.
Bingo.
Now,
but I'm sorry, real quick, Sean. But what was interesting about those auditions was you saw Leslie Jones's audition, and you saw that I had that issue with the bit that she did during Weekend Update, where she talked about the slave draft. And if she would be giving birth to Shaqs and Kobe's and Michael Jordans, because just that's where she looked. And you're thinking like, somebody wrote that for her and she said okay. Nah, that was hers. That's what she auditioned.
Yeah,
she auditioned for. And I'm like, So you really got in front of Lauren Michaels and talked about to audition for the show and talked about how you're not very attractive, but back in the day in slavery, you would be the breeder. I was like, wow.
It worked.
I was gonna say they got on the show.
Yes,
Now,
But I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. Like, really? That's what you chose to come to the white folks with. I'd have been a good breeding slave for your boss.
It got her on the show.
Got her on the show.
And it's gotta go. And it's gotta go.
She's terrible. You know, she's terrible.
I'm sorry, I got a problem with that.
Now, Ed, you had another problem with the Bill Cosby, which, you know, it's Saturday Night Live. They're not.
I know Tina. First of all, I know Tina Fey wrote that joke, but
still, it's. I mean, Saturday Night Live has never been known to be PC. They gonna come at you. I thought the joke was funny.
My thing was I was disappointed in Kenan Thompson because
it's Kenan Thompson
because he sucks.
What we were talking about is during they had Celebrity Jeopardy, which was funny as fuck.
That was fun. That was hilarious.
Which always is a good skit. I don't know if you've seen it in them, but those things are funny as hell. So they do a video daily double, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And it's Bill Cosby talking about cocktails. And it's just like. And I'm like, wow, really? I went there. And then I'm looking like Kenan. I'm like, really, Kenan? Now, the reason why I say that is because I think back in 2004, 2005, during a Weekend Update, Tina Fey, she initially was like, yeah, he was accused for the sexual harassment, did a joke. And here comes Kenan Thompson, fresh off of being Fat Albert. He was like, hey, Bill, I had nothing to do with that. I love you. And walked off. So I guess he's like, well, Bill ain't going to put no money in my pocket, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this show. But I'm just saying, I was a little disappointed in Kenan for that. Like, really? All right.
Kenan ain't shit.
But some of the other thing was they did the Weekend Update where I don't know if you're familiar with the old bit of the land shark. They brought the land shark back.
Yes.
They brought in Rosanna
Dana.
That shit by Emma Stone, which I thought was really good. I'm not gonna even lie on that one.
Yeah, she did a good job with that.
Yeah. But the other thing I had issue with was the Seinfeld bit. They bring out Seinfeld, and he decides to take questions from the audience. One of them was Ellen Cleghorn, which I guess I'm gonna give my Tommy on. She got in the weave chair and said, "Give me the longest braids you got." That shit was down to her ass. And her question was, why aren't there more black women? And Seinfeld goes like, yeah, you know, there should be a little more diversity on the show. And she says, no, I mean in general, because when I go to the dentist, there are not enough black women. There should be more black women. And then, you know, it's like, yeah, there should be blah, blah, blah. Seinfeld is saying like, yeah, you're right. There should be more diversity. So then she asks, so how come there weren't more black women on Seinfeld? And everybody started laughing like, yeah, you know, there was no niggas on the show.
Yeah, there were a couple.
Yeah, there were.
And Seinfeld responds like, yeah, you know, you're right. That's our bad. We didn't do enough to cure society's ills. And just kind of like dismissed her. I was like, what?
But that was their whole credo was no hugs, no learning. So seriously, that was.
Help me out on that. What does that mean?
That means they were no hugs, and no one was going to learn anything. That was most sitcoms. Let's put it this way. They never had the, you know,
very special episode.
Thank you. They never had the very special episode. So to me, that was a joke about what the show is about, which they always.
Oh, well, see, I guess if I had cared about Seinfeld or watched the television show, I would have got that. But
and who is Ellen Cleghorn anyway, man? Please sit your ass down.
Yeah. So I mean, that was Seinfeld. They did a nice musical. They call that digital short, not digital short. Yeah, I think it is called digital short, where they went through all the years of people breaking character because the skit was so funny. And it was actually one of the running jokes at the end was how many times Jimmy Fallon and Horatio Sands started cracking up during the middle of a skit, which Jimmy Fallon is known for. So.
Jimmy Fallon cannot keep a straight face during a skit. I don't think I'd ever seen him get through a skit without laughing. But they did show some of the classics. They showed the cowbell skit, the for walk, and that's the classic to me.
Prince made a cameo.
The one that, they showed the party up clip. The one that didn't make it, I was surprised, was Eddie Murphy Kill My Landlord. That one didn't make it.
No,
But
no,
it
no.
is.
I'm not surprised, but Hot Tub needed to make it, and then it did.
Hot Tub was in there. Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood was in there. Gumby was in there.
Speaking of Hot Tub, shout out to Mo Kelly and Tawala for the Mo Kelly radio show. They actually showed the clip during their show on Sunday from the James Brown Hot Tub show. And I actually listened to the lyrics from that song, and I was like, God damn, Eddie Murphy really thought about this shit. It was this I'm listening to it, and I'm like, that's actually a James Brown song. The way he was doing, he's like, should I get in the hot tub? Yeah. Do you want me to get it? Is it going to be wet? Yeah. Should I get in the hot tub? Yeah. Am I going to sweat? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just
well.
You know, the thing about Eddie Murphy and saving Saturday Night Live, that is true. I mean, that is not an understatement. He saved that show because once the original cast left, I think in '80, they wanted to cancel the show, but they ended up, of course, keeping it around, and then that's when he just exploded. There was a time where and Chris Rock talked about it, where the show was running short. And so they needed to fill some time, so they sent Eddie out there to do some stand-up, and he did some of the stuff from Delirious, prototype for stuff from Delirious, and some of the stuff that was on his first album.
One thing that I don't think people talked about, I haven't watched the whole thing yet. When you mentioned 1980 when Prince was on, that was the last year. That was like a transitional year with the cast that had among them Gilbert Gottfried and other people who just sucked.
Yep.
And then Lorne Michaels came along, and I think it was in late '81 or early '82. It said, Eddie Murphy, Joe Piscopo, stand over here. The rest of you, get out. Then they came back strong with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Brad Hall, Tim Kazurinsky, Jim Belushi, and those guys, and they brought it really back to life. Eddie was the star, but those other cats contributed a lot to that show. They really did.
The one thing I will say is the difference between that 70s era of SNL and I would say the last 15 years is if you look at the cast from 75 to 80, you had Chevy Chase, star, Dan Aykroyd, star, Bill Murray, Gilda Radner, Jane Curtin, even Gary
John
Morris,
Belushi.
John Belushi, yeah. Even Gary Morris, he might not have been a star, but he was funny. He knew what they do. You look at all of those people, they could act, they could do comedy, and they went on to have pretty long careers, with the exception of Gary Morris. I'm probably sure there were some others that didn't, but I mean, just to have that many great talents on that one show, you don't get that now with Saturday Night Live. You may get one or two.
Yeah.
Well, the casting pool is so shallow, man. Because look at the cast now; they all suck.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like it just shows you the level of talent that is in Hollywood now compared to back then, where that cast was the not ready for primetime players, and you got some of the biggest movies coming from these people.
Well, I think a lot of them too, put in their work doing things like The Groundlings and Second City, whereas a lot of people now aren't prepared to put in that type of work, or don't have the opportunity or the wherewithal to do that type of work. And looking at some of the audition tapes, and I said this on Facebook, I'll say it now. I could have done better than a lot of those people. Had I just taken roll your eyes. Because anything Tracy Morgan can do, I can do in my fucking sleep. Okay?
Man,
yeah,
stop hating on the brothers.
Okay, that goes from Keenan, whatever the fuck, too.
Well, I wonder too. Let me ask you guys this: is it like and I don't know that many comedians now. I think about it, but would a comedian or a comedic actor who's on top of the game, would they want to be sort of hailed to be on a TV show now, or would they rather be out doing their thing?
No, they want to be out.
I don't know. Lorne Michaels has fucking pull right now. He has two of his alumni on Late Night with The Tonight Show and The Late Show. Right. He has Tina Fey is a huge Hollywood mover and shaker. Amy Poehler has a show. Andy Samberg, he just got a Golden Globe for his show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Ghostbusters, three of the actresses are from Saturday Night Live. So I'm like, right now, if you want to make it, go to Lorne Michaels.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the proof was right there.
The thing is, being a comic actor, doesn't mean you can be a skit person and be able to create something different every week like that.
Well, and that's the other problem, just because Lorne Michaels putting his money behind you, putting his power behind you and making you a star doesn't mean that you're of quality. But I'm just saying, if you're trying to make it, there's a worse place to start than Saturday Night Live right now.
I look at like a Chris Rock or something. Like, to me, he is hilarious stand-up. Now, I didn't watch Saturday Night Live, so I don't know how he was on there. But it seemed like
he wasn't featured that much.
He seemed like he would be too big to be on that. Like, it would stifle.
Back then, he wasn't.
Even like a guy like a Martin Lawrence. A lot of these guys I'm thinking of.
Martin would have been good. Now, the problem with Chris Rock is, in all the respect for, what he's become, the man can't act. He's funny, but he can't act.
Well, the thing is, that even he will tell you that the writers didn't know what to do with him. He got on the show because he was funny, but then the writers didn't know what to write for him. And the only thing he had was Nat X. He tells a funny joke that he said, I knew it was time to leave Saturday Night Live when my mama stopped watching because I was never on there.
Well, I have a rebuttal to that. So I guess the writers for all the movies he's been in didn't know what to do with him either, because he sucked in that shit as well.
But he's not an actor. He's an actual just stand-up comedian.
He's a stand-up,
That's what he does. And that's why when people try to compare him to Eddie Murphy, I'm like, no, because Eddie Murphy can act. He got better with time. Chris Rock plateaued.
There's a difference between those sketch comedy and a feature-length film and even stand-up. Those are three different things. You got a lot of the cast that's been on there recently. You've got Kristen Wiig, you've got Bill Hader, you've got
Andy Samberg.
Hell, even Will Ferrell back when he was on the show.
It's funny to me because all these people, they're not funny to me. Like, I don't.
Thank you. Will Ferrell is not funny
to me. I can see how people may think he's funny, but none of these people that I've seen on that show are hilarious to me, which is why I don't watch it. But I used to really watch Living Color because to me those guys were hilarious. The Wayans, Jim Carrey, all those people. I thought those people were hysterical, but I don't know. It's a different type of humor, I guess.
Well, one last thing that occurred, and of course it had to be Kanye West. So during Wayne's World, please tell me you at least remember Wayne's World, Michael D.
I know, yeah, I remember that, the movie.
Yeah. So we all know what happened during the Hurricane Katrina telethon. Yeah, it was a telethon. Mike Myers and Kanye West. Kanye West, the infamous George Bush doesn't care about black people, and Mike Myers looking like, man, why'd you do that? Looking like. So here you got Mike Myers up there, Kanye West in the audience because he just gave a performance, and one of their top 10s was Kanye West needs to sit down, and they kept going over to Kanye West, and Kanye looked like he wanted to bum rush the stage, and they had security there, and they was like, no, Kanye, no more, we're tired of that. And then they made a reference to Beck being great. He's like, yeah, I think Beck, he was one of the best performers we've had on Saturday Night Live, even better than Beyonce. And then Kanye, he jumped up again. He's like, no, Kanye, no, you just sit down. And I'm just looking at that, I'm like, wait a minute, Kanye. You just got through saying how the people, the man, will utilize black culture to get promotion for their shows and use them for their performance, but they won't reward them and give them accolades, and we tired of this. But here you are a week later giving a musical performance, and now you're getting clowned. And he's sitting, and I tweeted out, Kanye, you're laughing, you're thinking, oh, you're part of the joke. Nah, you are the joke. They're pretty much laughing at you, and you're just trying. How do you let yourself, after just saying you want to be respected and all this other stuff, get used again? They gave you your time to suck and jive for them, so to speak, and then they laughed at you.
I think you're way into it. I think I think you're way off base on that. Okay. Again, it's Saturday Night Live. This isn't. It's not. I don't know. It's not Schindler's List.
Man, don't let them play that. You gotta peep the subliminals there. You gotta peep the subliminals.
You a little too deep on that one, man. You a little too deep.
He was making fun, so that's why people go on that show. It's a safe haven where where they can make fun of themselves. I mean, everyone was doing it. Like hell, even John Lovitz. You know how they kept saying that he was dead. Even he was in the in memoriam section, and he was like, "No, I'm not dead. I'm not dead." I mean,
I feel like that Jewish guy in Coming to America. You three putzes. What do y'all know?
I know it's a sketch comedy show that is not meant to be taken seriously at all.
Anything else, fellas, on Saturday Night Live?
I would say see it if you DVR'd it, see it. It's very good.
Do we want to get it? Anybody catch up on the last 2 episodes of Better Call Saul?
I saw the first episode. I actually like that show.
I did. I'm sorry. I know Q. First of all, you see the second episode. The second episode should have been the first episode. Second episode, there's a scene where you're just gonna be like, God damn, this is fucking brilliant. This show is gonna get 6 seasons. Well, probably 5 because the life cycle of cable shows. But yeah, that second episode,
5 was pushing it. I don't know about 5, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was gonna say 6, and I'm like, nah.
I'm gonna say
5.
3.
3? Nah. Remember, they can bring in some of the. Remember, they can pull the Walter White card. They can pull the Jesse Pinkman card. So I'm just saying.
They pull that card, and the shark will be jumping.
Well, yeah, there you go. It is what it is. You're right. It will be. But I'm just saying, Tuco, if you remember him, Tuco is great. That scene that he has in episode 2, you're gonna be like, God damn, that's great. And yeah, I'm tuning in. You know, I'll probably be tuning in a day late because I can't watch it live, but I'll be watching.
Why not?
I'd like to know that too.
Well, damn, thank you for bringing up a touchy subject.
What's touchy subject?
My cable bill was a little high, so I had to downsize.
Okay.
So I ain't got an AMC.
Ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that, bro.
Like, damn, I'm trying to do the parking lot pimping, and y'all just busted me.
Get your rabbit ears out, man.
No, what I'm saying, what I really mean is I refuse to be dictated to by the cable system and whatnot. That's what I really mean.
Oh, by the man.
Most shows are available about 15 minutes after they air, if you know where to look.
Well, sir, you need to point me in the right direction.
We'll do that offline.
So do we want to get into?
I was going to say, because I catch Empire about 7:10 out here. After it airs on the East Coast, I'm like, okay, yeah. So
shout out to Mr. World Premiere. That would be your friend. Check out that website.
Now, do we want to get into some ratchetness?
Of course. It wouldn't be us if we didn't.
What did we do this week?
No, well, apparently she's not a Laquita. She don't want to claim it, but you know, people are telling her, yeah, chick, you black. Amber Rose versus the Kardashians. God damn it.
Oh, jeez.
Are y'all familiar with what's going on there?
Dumb and Dumber.
Heard a little bit about it.
All right, so apparently, Amber Rose, she was on the Breakfast Club. You know, Charlemagne and them. Yeah, I'm saying them. Charlemagne and them, and they got to asking because Amber Rose's friend is Black China, who was married to this rapper Tigger. Tigger? Yes. You already know what it rhymes with, but there you go.
Oh, Lord.
Left Black China, broke up with Black China. Nobody knows why, but he broke up with Black China, got a baby with her, and now he's dating 17-year-old Kylie Jenner.
Also, he's a felon.
You know, with that blank...
Felon.
Hey, Ant, with that blank space behind you there, you should do a flow chart so we can keep up.
I guess he's going down that R. Kelly route.
but the thing is that he's not, because you know Kylie, she got 2 parents, and well, for one, Tigger said I'm not dating her, even though everybody's like, we see y'all together. Why is a 25-year-old man hanging out with a 17-year-old? And
maybe not dating, might just be.
Smash and grab.
Yeah. Well, either way, Bruce and Kris Jenner ain't saying nothing impropriety. So they have Breakfast Club have Amber Rose on, knowing that that's her friend's ex-husband, and they ask her about it, and she makes a statement of like, "Yo, he had this beautiful woman and a baby, and he leaves that to get with this 16-year-old who just turned 17. It's 7 p.m. Shouldn't she be in bed? Like, why are you with this girl? You're just wrong. You're foul. Blah 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 blah. All this other stuff. Just pretty much digging at Tigger. However, she took a little subtle shot at Kylie. So Chloe, you know, being big sister, she had a problem with what Amber said, and she told him, like, you know, she tweeted out a quote from which she said to Jamie Foxx, saying, "At 15 years old, I used to be a stripper." So she tweeted out, her quote, I was a stripper at 15, and then said, so you're going to talk about my sister who has her shit together at 17, and this was your life, which was like, damn, it's fucked up. Amber decides to reply, which it's amazing how ratchets think. So Amber replies with, well, okay, I guess I'm a whore. Well, I'll be that whore feeding my family, just like your sister is a whore feeding your family. And I'm like, wait a minute, how are you bringing Kim Kardashian up in there? So it just went back and forth. Amber tweeted out a picture of Kanye West's face, and it's like, when your sister-in-law calls somebody a whore, but your wife has a sex tape. And I'm like,
well, let me remind myself about this. Kanye West used to go with Amber Rose. Yes. Now he's married to Kim Kardashian, right?
There you go. Somebody feeling some type of way.
Amber Rose used to be with Wiz Khalifa, and he cheated or went off with some twin girls. Amber Rose. Just take it. Just fall back and take the L. Jump on the next jock and just keep cashing the checks. She's trying to. It's thought logic.
Well, but her last tweet was just because her last tweet was just because your daddy used to be a pro football player and got away with murder don't mean you can be telling people what to do. Talking about Chloe and OJ.
What does she do though?
Chloe?
Amber. No, Amber.
Nothing.
TNA.
Pretty much.
Hosting parties.
Here's the thing that's tripping me out. For some reason, all the black women and black feminists are coming to bat for Amber Rose, saying that Chloe was slut shaming her for being a stripper, and how you gonna come at her for that? And your sister got a sex tape, which I'm like, first of all, she had a sex tape. I mean, she recorded herself having sex with her boyfriend. That's a whole lot different than going up in the club shaking your ass for some money. And can we agree on that?
It's different. I think it's worse, but
thank you. That's what I mean.
Okay, the choir boy here has a question. Is slut shaming an actual thing now? Is that something?
Yes, it is. Okay. Like if we were to go to a strip club and request a lap dance, and we didn't have enough money for the lap dance, and we're like, well, fuck you, bitch. That's why you stripping. We would be slut shamed.
Jesus, take the wheel. Just please fix it. Fix it.
So they're getting on Chloe because it's like, well, your sister has fucked all these men, which you can't prove she has. At best, you can come with 6. And why are you trying to shame her for like? I can understand if Amber Rose was a nude model for like Kim for campaigns for like Prada and whatnot, but the chick was a stripper. Like, come on, like it is what it is. She was slanging that ass for money.
Well, why is she popular if she's just being a side chick? Is that her deal?
She got popular because I guess Kanye went into the strip club on the right night she was performing and said, "Ooh, I gotta have that." Which that's kind of simpish, Kanye. I'm just saying, you don't make a stripper your girl, but. No. Okay, when you're a big celebrity like Kanye West, you don't make your stripper your girl. I'm saying us regular folk, we can do
it. No.
Carmen Electra.
You regular folk, you do.
Carmen Electra? Wow.
Well, yeah, well, Prince, that's an L for Prince too. Like, what the fuck
she was side booty. We all know that she wasn't shit.
Well, hey, she's in the harem. So yeah, I just think I don't understand why the women are standing, so to speak, for Amber Rose, and I think she's out of line. Like keep the argument on point with Khloe Kardashian and Kylie. Why the hell are you bringing Kim and Kanye into this? They ain't said shit to you. Although I did find out today that apparently Kanye wasn't out of a relationship with Amber when he started dating Kim. So yeah. And moving on.
And they jumped the next jock. Well, Ice-T. Power. Check it out.
Now, did anybody watch?
I was just going to say, Twitter beef of the week.
Yeah, it's fun, though. It's fun. Now, did anyone get the chance to watch Gotham last night with the debut of the Joker?
Oh no, and I may have to take the headphones off.
I didn't see it yet. How was it? Did they actually show the Joker? Just say that.
They showed they implied this character would be the Joker, and he looks like Jack Nicholson, and he gives his best. What is his name? Heath Ledger impersonation as the Joker.
Really?
He wasn't that big to the story, in my opinion. He was there. There was a lot of other things that's going on. Matter of fact, the story between Jim and Leslie Thompson, played by the fine Marina. I'm just gonna call her Marina because I can't pronounce the last name. It was pretty much the focal point of the story, and goddamn, she looked good.
Now, let me ask you this real quick. The Joker character, was he a boy or was he a man? How old was this guy?
He looked like the same age as Bruce Wayne in the show.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, so there was
he was a little boy Joker.
Little Joker.
Joker in short pants.
He's been crazy for a long time. He was born.
Well, when you see
remember his dad gave scars.
I'm just saying, when you see the episodes, you just think to yourself, like, this is just trying too hard to pigeonhole this. And it's like this was the last Sweeps Monday of this was the last episode of Sweeps Month, and they said, let's do this so we can bring up the ratings. I'm just like, this. It doesn't see. I don't see how this will connect to the larger whole of the series narrative.
That's kind of why I can't watch the show, man. I just don't. It is too much. How are they gonna have the
They're trying too hard.
Still can't believe I'm the only one that's watching the show on a regular basis. That's ironic.
I watch it.
Okay. I'm just a little behind, but
let me do Ant. I watch it.
But that Chairman's Reserve is getting to me right about now. So
getting you open, huh? Pause.
I'm like, oh. All right, fellas, that's all the topics I got. Unless you want to get into some Erykah Badu.
I thought we were going to do the Oscar picks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have those. Let me.
What's Erykah Badu's problem now? Let me guess.
No,
That's later.
Yeah, there you go.
Why are people piling on this girl, man? What'd she ever do to these people?
No, she did this. She did. Somebody asked her, Azalea Banks? No, I think it was Azalea Banks, who always stay beefing with somebody. Somebody asked her, have you listened to Azalea Banks? And she replied back, tried. And Azalea Banks felt some kind of way about it. It was like, she jealous. And Erykah Badu shot back. It's like, look, I said I tried. I guess I'm too old. She's like, anyway, you cool, though. Like, dismissed her.
Well, there you go. Maybe your stuff ain't no good.
All right, let's start with
all right, you want me? I have the list.
Supporting actors.
Supporting
Okay,
actor?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I got the list. Okay, so we'll start with the supporting actress. So we've got Patricia Arquette for Boyhood, Laura Dern for Wild, Keira Knightley for The Imitation Game, Emma Stone for Birdman, and Meryl Streep for Into the Woods. So, Anthony, who you got?
I think it should be Emma Stone. I saw Birdman and I loved it. But I think it would be Patricia Arquette for Boyhood. I think that people love the concept and it'll be her.
That is the trend, but I won't say mine just yet. Big Sexy?
I'm going to go with Emma Stone. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and discount Meryl Streep because she's Meryl fucking Streep.
Yeah.
And she doesn't need to be in supporting, so please. That's too small for her.
And on top of that, her performance was not Oscar nominated.
I would agree with that. Mr.
Also,
Dean?
I would go with...
Big Sexy. Oh, you said...
Emma Stone because of something different for her. I liked it.
Damn. Birdman,
Emma Stone.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I have to qualify mine since I'm the film guy here. I have not seen all of the nominees just yet. I've seen Wild. Yeah, hey, life happens. I've seen Wild, Birdman, and Into the Woods. But as far as the buzz, I'm going to go with what the buzz is saying. So I'm going to say Patricia Arquette. I totally disagree with Laura Dern being nominated. That was not a nominatable performance. And I agree with Mr. Aunt Pooh on Meryl Streep. I saw Into the Woods. That was not an Oscar-nominated or Oscar-caliber performance. She was simply okay. So Patricia Arquette, Boyhood. All right, moving to Best Supporting Actor. Robert Duvall for The Judge, Ethan Hawke for Boyhood, Edward Norton for Birdman, Mark Ruffalo for Foxcatcher, and J.K. Simmons for Whiplash. Let's go with Big Sexy.
Oh, please. J.K. Simmons, hands down.
All right.
Hands down.
Mr. Dean.
This is for Best Actor?
Best Supporting.
Well, I would go with J.K., but I do have to say I feel like, what's my man from Nightcrawler? I guess he would be lead actor.
And he was not nominated,
Yeah,
but
he got robbed.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, now you want. Well, I won't go on a rant on that, but yeah, you want to talk about somebody being robbed? Yeah. Okay, Aunt Pooh.
I think it should be Mark Ruffalo. I love his performance as Foxcatcher, but
did you say Whiplash?
Hey, this is my opinion. My opinion, sir. It should be Mark Ruffalo, but it'll be J.K. Simmons. He gave a good performance, and he has the momentum behind him.
He gave a great performance.
Okay, well, for me, I liked all of the performances. Only one I haven't seen yet is Ethan Hawke in Boyhood, but J.K. Simmons all the way. As soon as I saw that film, I said, that's your winner right there. That's the guy that's going to take it home. All right. Best Actress. Okay, we've got Marion Cotillard for 2 Days and One Night. Felicity.
That's how you pronounce it?
I thought it was Cotillard.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's French. Felicity Jones for The Theory of Everything. Rosamund Pike for Gone Girl. Gone Girl. Julianne Moore for Still Alice. And Reese Witherspoon for Wild. Aunt Pooh.
Well, my opinion should be Rosamund. That's a weird name. Rosamund Pike for Gone Girl. That was a crazy ass bitch. She made me believe that. I'm telling you, my next girlfriend, I'm not cheating on her. Lesson learned.
You need to hell go back and watch Fatal Attraction. Shit, that'll
I can handle that. I can handle.
Shit.
I can handle you trying to kill me. You trying to put me in jail? Nah.
Oh, okay. All right. Big Sex.
But I think
sorry.
Julianne Moore for Still Alice. She's due for one. I say it's her.
You know, Julianne Moore may be due for one, but it's going to go to Rosamund Pike because she was just nuts. You know, and
really?
she was. I mean, she was believable. She didn't go over the top of the performance. You know, she was calculating. You know, Ben Affleck did her wrong. She's like, oh, you got to go. And then she, sucked in Doogie Howser and then made him go too. No, man, she was bananas. And at the end of the movie, she got away with it. And he still stayed married to her. He's crazy. Okay, he's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. See that at that point, that's when I try to kill her. Like.
Not to tell violence against women here, Aunt Pooh.
That's right.
Violence against sane women. That bitch was crazy.
Mr. Dean.
I would go with Gone Girl all the way, man. Yeah, she put that down, man.
All right. Now, as the film guy, I haven't seen all of the performances. I'm going to go, as much as I love Rosamund Pike, if I were voting, I believe that's who I would vote for. But I think Julianne Moore is going to win it, not based solely on this performance, but as a body of work of what she's done over the years. I think this will be the Al Pacino over Denzel for Sin of a Woman versus Malcolm X. I think they're going to award the career performance. So that's who I'm going to go with, Julianne. Now, I love Julianne Moore. Let me just go on record by saying that. So I wouldn't be like all upset if she won. But Rosamund Pike did turn it out, but wrong movie and wrong year. All right. Best Actor. Steve Carell, Foxcatcher. Benedict Cumberbatch for The Imitation Game. Bradley Cooper, American Sniper. Michael Keaton for Birdman. And Mr. Jupiter Ascending himself, Eddie Redmayne, for The Theory of Everything. Michael Dean, who you got?
Well, I haven't seen the other movies except for American Sniper. I don't think that was worthy of that, but I will give it to Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Big Sexy.
I think Michael Keaton will get it, but I thought Benedict Cumberbatch did a better job. But it will go to Keaton. based on longevity and Oscar blowing backstage and all the hype behind this movie.
All right, Aunt Pooh.
Backstage Oscar blowing.
I'm gonna go against popular wisdom. I think it would be. It should be Steve Carell. I saw that movie. That was a crazy mofo, but I believe it would be Michael Keaton.
All right. Well, I think we're unanimous. Although I think it's a two-man race right now, at least from what I've seen, Bradley Cooper and Michael Keaton. But I think Michael Keaton is gonna take it. Now, I'm gonna insert my Selma was robbed rant right here. David, whatever his last name is, and I should probably know it by now, he should be on this list and not Steve Carell. I'm sorry. I love Steve Carell as an actor, but I think his makeup in this movie did more of the acting than him, I thought. It was a change of pace role, and he looks like he put on a little weight and all of that kind of stuff, and that's stuff the Academy likes. But I don't really think his performance was really all of that, not Oscar worthy. I think David. Anybody knows how to pronounce his last name before I try to butcher it? Mike.
Don't ask me.
That's why I asked you.
Wello.
Yeah, I think. I think if anybody has a case, I really think that, and that was why I wanted to reserve judgment on the whole, Selma was robbed. I think he has a case. Steve Carell shouldn't be on there.
You know who my pick would be if it was up to me? I would pick, is it Chaz Bowman? Did I say his name?
Yeah.
Get it up to playing James Brown. He killed playing that character. I'm not saying the movie was the best movie.
Yeah. See, and I think
performance was outstanding. That's a hard person to do and not be a parody. I thought he killed it.
No, I agree with you. But you hit the nail on the head. The movie wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't.
So that's what killed that chances. Okay, now we come to the biggie. Best Picture. We've got American Sniper, Birdman, Boyhood, The Imitation Game, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Selma, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. Now, I know Big Sexy and Mike, I know what you guys are going to say, so I'm going to go to you last, Aunt Pooh.
I think it'll be Boyhood. I just feel like the Oscars, they love this creativity, and there's very, very few bad things they say about it, so I think it'll be Boyhood.
Okay. Big Sexy, I know what your answer is going to be, but if have to ask it anyway. Who you got?
Well, I think American Sniper and Birdman and Selma will all cancel each other out. Boyhood is good. Grand Budapest Hotel is a Wes Anderson movie, which means we've seen it a billion times before, which is, of course, Whiplash. Simple story, brilliantly acted by J.K. Simmons and the kid who played
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller did his thing, and one thing about Miles that people get lost in behind the brilliance of J.K. Simmons is Miles never quit, ever. He gave up his woman. Baby, I am a drummer. This is what I do. I drum. And when he got his chance to shine, he handled business. He came in there from a car wreck. I'm playing. Let's go. This is what I do. Oh, man. That's the best movie.
All right. And Mr. Dean, we've talked about it before. I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say, but again, I would be remiss if I didn't ask. So who you got?
I will say this. I loved Whiplash. Excellent movie. Amazing. I also liked is that Birdcage? Is that the movie's called?
Birdman.
Birdcage.
Birdman.
Totally different movie there, Mike.
Birdcage 6. Nah. And I thought that was a great movie too. I'll say this. Here's who I want to win. I want Boyhood to win.
Yep, and I knew you were going to say that.
That was an emotional movie for me, but I wouldn't be surprised actually if American Sniper won. I think I could see that being a surprise to people, but I could see the patriotic part of it, and obviously the movie's a big success. I would not be shocked if that won. That's just me.
Okay, all right. So for me, this is a three film race. American Sniper. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Birdman, Boyhood, and Whiplash. It's a 3. Now, I like to do. I've done the show a couple of times with my Real Movie Talk partner. If we pick the winners, this is who I would vote for. If I was an Oscar member and I had a ballot, I'm voting for Whiplash. That's just a movie that just spoke to me emotionally. Well, yeah, spoke to me emotionally. I really dug it. I like those small movies, not a big budget. It doesn't rely on special effects, all that kind of stuff. It's just a good story. Mm-hmm. But I think I won't be mad if Birdman gets it. And I think that's what's good. I know you hated Birdman, Big Sexy.
I did not care for it.
But I think the technical achievement with the whole, the movie is supposed to be one shot. And I got to give it to Mr. Dean. When you described this movie before I saw it, I was like, is it really all one take when you were describing it, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, but then when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. I mean, you could tell a lot of the edit, and that was fine. I just appreciated the effort.
The illusion of it.
Yeah. So I really wouldn't be mad if Birdman or Boyhood wins. I would personally would jump out of my seat, clap, whatever, if they call it Whiplash. So wow, and I guess Q's not here, but I'm sure he would be railing on us for not picking Selma for.
He put us on the coach.
I can't see me rolling my eyes, but I'm rolling my eyes.
And speaking of Selma, speaking of Q, speaking of Selma, let me just run down the best directing just for its and giggles. So we got Boyhood, Richard Linklater for Boyhood. Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu for Birdman, Bennett Miller for Foxcatcher, Wes Anderson for The Grand Budapest Hotel, and Morton Tyledum for The Imitation Game. I'll go first since I haven't gone first. Two names are conspicuously absent from the list. Selma's director, Anna, whatever her last name is. Sorry, I don't know. Thank you. And Clint Eastwood. Well, she hasn't done much for me to merit me knowing her last name. Clint Eastwood. Those names are conspicuously
great. This is why we can't be great.
Those names are conspicuously absent. For me, I think it's gonna be Alejandro for Birdman. Just again, the technical marvel of the way he put the film together, as far as giving the illusion that it's all one take. But it could be Richard Linklater for Birdman, just for the whole, filming over 12 years.
Boyhood.
So now I'm gonna say Bennett Miller for Foxcatcher. That could have been a slot for either Anna or Clint, because I didn't see great directing in that movie. I didn't really care for Foxcatcher all that much. Be perfectly honest. If I reviewed it for the blog, I probably give it 2 out of 4 stars. I was just uninterested in the story. So why he's nominated for directing, I have no earthly idea whatsoever. So, but there you go. There are picks. So should be interesting. Oscars are this Sunday.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even ask you guys, did I?
Thank you. Let the fellas get their directors in there.
So sorry.
He's like,
that's why I'm not hosting the show. Mr. Dean.
Turn the mic over to you. This is what happens.
I go with Boyhood, man. I think the achievement of filming that such a long time, having a vision to hold that together, that's unheard of, in my opinion. That was amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a two film race. Ant Poo.
I gotta go with Boyhood too. They love when you take risks. As you look at was it Life of Pi and then Gravity. They love you taking the craft to a different level and filming one movie that took 13 years to film.
The Life of Pi win anything?
Was it The Life of Pi?
Yeah, it won Best Director.
It did?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ang Lee that was Ang Lee, right?
Yeah.
That was the second one too, right?
Yeah. Because he won for, I think, Crouching Tiger fight.
Yeah.
No, he got it for Brokeback Mountain. I believe he did, right?
I don't think directing. I think just film. But anyway, Big Sexy.
Interesting movie you name checked there.
I was gonna let that go.
And see, this is exactly why we're maligned as homophobic.
It's not homophobic. I'm just saying it's interesting.
Yeah, it did. See, you think it did win Best Director?
Embrace it.
It lost Best Picture to Crash, though.
Embrace who you are.
And the the LGBT community was pissed about that.
Crash was a better movie than Brokeback Mountain, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, it was.
You'll find very few people who will say that Brokeback was better than Crouching Tiger.
Well, my pick would be Birdman and Alejandro G. whatever the fuck, simply because of the way he set it up. I mean, I didn't care for the story, and I did not care for a lot of the acting, but the way it was assembled was completely unique to me. And for a art house type film, it really crossed that limitation. And I think Boyhood was interesting, but and 12 years is a long time, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah, ask Solomon Wilcott. No, nothing? Really?
Solomon Wilcott, the guy on ESPN?
No, the guy the slave. 12 years
a slave.
Oh, whoops. Black Cards Revolt.
I got it. I got the joke. It wasn't that funny, but I got it.
Q's at home saying, I know it.
So,
all right.
Now there we go with our Oscar picks. Oscars are Sunday. I will be live tweeting or live Facebooking on Real Movie Talk. So, audience out there watching,
all right, I'm going to jump on that with you.
Join me. Yeah.
What's the? Is there a new movie coming out this weekend?
Time Machine 2.
Hot Tub Time Machine 2, baby.
I'm sorry, it was Solomon Northup.
And then I think the other Whitey Saves the Day film from Kevin Costner, which I am the screening. I think the screening is tonight actually, and I'm here with you gentlemen. I'm not boycotting the film. I just don't want to see
it. Shot would call it, Wetback, you can't run.
Wow.
What?
No, because normally it'd be like Negro, you can't film, but this is a Wetback, you can't film.
Oh, wow.
You can't run.
Send your comments to Ann Pooh, ladies and gentlemen.
Lastly, just real quick on it, what do you guys think of the success of 50 Shades this past weekend?
Oh, well, I can speak on that.
Any man that took a woman to that is questionable.
What? Questionable that a man that took his woman to see is questionable?
Would you rather go by yourself?
Come on out, Anthony. Sorry.
You're thinking way too long on that.
Come on, Pee Wee Herman.
I'm not going to even answer. I'm not going to even dignify that with a response, sir.
Be who you are, girl.
Well, let me say this. I'm not shocked at the amount of money the movie made. But I'm amazed at how much the movie made, if that makes any sense. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I want to say it made 90-something million domestically since Thursday night. 94, okay. And I think the worldwide gross is even more than that. For a $42 million budget, to have already made twice its budget in that amount of time is amazing.
265 million total.
Okay, I have not yet heard of the studio greenlighting the other two other two books, but if they have not done it today, it's coming.
I'm sure they will.
This wasn't just on the entire series. This was on one book.
It's one book.
One book. Yeah, there's three total. Oh, they're gonna do them. There's too much money on the table.
Gotta get paid.
Yeah. Now, I've heard, and my wife touched on this in her review, because I had heard that the two of them didn't get along.
The actor in Grey?
Yeah.
Actress in Grey?
Yeah. Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan. They didn't get along, from what I heard.
Well, we need to do. We need to sit them down together, get Purple Rain, and get to that one part where Billy said, "What? This is a business." I ain't too far down to understand.
No, they getting together now. Trust me, it's too much money.
So I'm still the one that has seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I have not seen
it.
All right, last.
All I know is the girl better be fine as hell to get me in that goddamn theater, with the promise.
You'll be disappointed because she's not She's good looking, but she's not.
Talking about the girl he takes. Am I right?
Right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. Okay.
All right.
This was about to go heavy too.
This is a debate that's been going. We started over the weekend. I got to get you guys on air answers. The question was: Superfly album, Purple Rain album. You had. Initially, I was going to say what was the best soundtrack, but I said if you had to restart music, then you had to start with these two soundtrack albums, and one of these albums would be the blueprint for you restarting music. Which one would you choose, Superfly or Purple Rain?
Well, Big Sexy didn't like my answer that I gave, so I had to give a longer dissertation. The only thing for me, Mike, is that both.
First of all, say your pick, and then you go into your.
Yeah, what was your answer? Yeah, I didn't like.
I said neither.
Nigga, see,
got to answer the question.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Hashtag. This is why we can't be great.
Negro. Can I say why? Can I say why I said neither? Because both albums were based on a film, so the songwriting was limited to what they could do because they're both writing under.
No,
I'm not done.
Songs on Purple Rain that don't play into the movie necessarily. I mean, they're just.
Well, but Dove's Cry was written specifically for the movie.
Nothing to do with the movie.
Well, let me.
Ain't got nothing to do with the movie.
Yes, it
Ain't
did.
got nothing to do with the movie.
Can I finish my answer?
Go ahead.
Take Me With You was written specifically for the movie. When Dove's Cry was written specifically for the movie. Now, I said if you take into account the peripheral stuff, Erotic City, 17 Days, then yeah, I would go with Purple Rain. But both albums.
Double Love and the Bird.
So let's say this, Sean. They both have the same weaknesses. We get that. But you still have to make a choice.
Okay. Well, I ended up saying Purple Rain.
Okay.
I'm just
because
Sean, all I'm saying is that if they were to ask you, your daughter and your wife would be dead by now because you're trying to come up with the merits of which one to say.
Dude,
you're like Palmer, and you're like, damn it, they both.
I try to be. I love the question. But I wanted to be analytical about my answer.
All right. What about you, Aunt Pooh?
This is actually a real hard one because it's like Prince is more diverse, but Superfly influenced a lot more. I mean, as far as the sampling and some of the artists throughout the '70s that saw what Curtis Mayfield did and somewhat duplicated or inspired by. I mean, let's be honest, as much of a musical genius Prince is, first of all, Prince doesn't allow a lot of his songs to be remade or sampled, and at the same time, I'm really trying to think hard. Okay, who has he really influenced? And that's not a slight on Prince. It's just, I'm sorry, it is what it is. Maybe Alicia Keys or something I can think of. So, as I might have to turn in my Prince card, I have to say Curtis Mayfield's Superfly.
Oh, okay. Big Sexy.
All right. First of all, as you can always count on me to do things properly, I'm going to do so yet again. To me, I have to go with Purple Rain because a lot of the songs in Superfly are revolved around one central theme of drug and drug pushing, which is fine for that, for the context of the film. And Purple Rain, to me, is more accessible. So if you're going to start music, you need something that has different themes within its own, creation. Purple Rain has that. You've got a great love song in Superfly with "Give Me Your Love," which is fine. Because I remember being like 8 years old and thinking, "Ooh, I like this." But you have, the Pusher Man, Junkie. I forget the name of the Junkie song, and Freddie's Dead. It's all the same thing. The same, denominator there. With Purple Rain, you have several different things, and I'd have to go with Purple Rain. Now, also, as a side note, to me, that's not Curtis's best work. Curtis's best work, to me, is the live album that came out in 1971 that preceded this. That's his best work.
Sure. Some would argue Purple Rain is not Prince's best work either.
I would also agree with that as well. So, touche.
I would say this after I thought about it. As much as I want to go with Purple Rain because that's my guy, I know that album. I grew up with that album. From a musician standpoint, and as a from restarting music, I would have to pick Superfly because I think the musicality of that album and I guess the fundamentals that are sort of in the roots of that album are more important. Like the actual instrumentation, they're actually playing guitars. And they're playing guitars, another one, but there's drumming. I would rather it start from a more organic place, the music, than it be starting from a more computerized place. I think Prince has I don't want to say has better songs. I would say they are actually both songs are accessible in my opinion. I think Prince just came at a time where there was more commerciality about music, and it may have gotten pushed a little harder because there was a bigger machine behind that. But I think if you just put your headphones on, if you just put your headphones on and listen, personally, I would rather I would have picked Purple Rain if Prince would have recorded Purple Rain the way they recorded Superfly, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. With organic drums instead of drum machine?
If he would have if he would have played that stuff and really, you know what I'm saying, and if the basis, then I would have probably picked that. But because I think that everything about what Curtis Mayfield did, even what he spoke about, even the way he did his voice, the way he's playing, I think that is more, I don't know if it's more influential, but I just think it's a better produced album than Purple Rain is. And I think Purple Rain is a brilliant album. And they're both brilliant. Actually, if I had to pick what I would listen to, it would probably be Purple Rain. But that would be my choice.
Well,
no slight to either, but you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and while we're on the subject of Prince, real quick, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted that yesterday was the anniversary of me going to see the 1999 tour, which was like, wow, it was that long ago. I'm actually working on something now. I'm working on a little article because I went back and listened to the album, and as I was saying on my other post, that that was like the last just raw, dirty, nasty Prince. Like everything else after that. I mean, we had the Darling Nickies, and we had Neurotic City, we had stuff like that, but I don't think that stuff was as raw as Let's Pretend We're Married and Lady Cab Driver and Automatic and stuff like that. So I'm working on an article for the blog. I'm calling it. I'm not saying this just to be nasty. The legacy of 1999. So
nice.
That's going to be coming. That's going to be coming to the blog soon. So. I'm just curious what you guys think about just that aspect of the album and just that raw sexuality that was missing from his later work.
I would agree with you, yeah.
I would agree 100%.
I see your point, but to me, when I think of 1999, I don't think about the raw nastiness. I think of the songs composed and the music. I mean, you're looking at first of all, to me, the best song on the album is DMSR.
Well, yeah.
I was a Little Red Corvette, but I hear what you're saying.
I don't want to say Lady Cab Driver, but
I mean Lady Cab Driver. That's what I meant to say, actually. But you're right. You hit on something. I think the music was the last time he really stayed in that real Minneapolis funk lane. That I really wish he had sort of continued just a little bit more, because DMSR is ridiculous. Lady Cab Driver is ridiculous. I mean, man.
I mean, the songs, most of the songs are like 7, 8 minutes. Some can say, they're a little too long. I'm like, Let's Pretend We're Married is perfect. DMSR is perfect.
Yeah.
The only song I would say runs a little long is probably Automatic. That would, I mean, out of the longer songs, I think that's the only one. And I did not know this until I was doing some research for the article, that International Lover was written for Morris in the time. I didn't know that. And can you imagine Morris singing that though? I don't know.
Now that I think about the kid can't make you come, I could kind of see him saying that.
Yeah, but
international lover.
Because I've always wondered why that
Break
song.
down, baby. Break it on down.
I've always wondered why that song disappeared from the live set. He'll do Me Baby until the cows come home, but International Lover hasn't made it past the Purple Rain tour. I don't think, unless I've missed it. So just always curious about that. Maybe that's why. Maybe because he had written it for Morris that he was like,
I want the Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad into When You Were Mine back, but whatever.
Yeah, he's doing When You Were Mine a lot.
He does How Come You Don't Call Me More all the time. He does that regularly.
Well, that's for us hardcores. That's why.
How come you don't call me? That's because of Alicia Keys, because it's like he's determined to get that song back.
No, he'll do the B-sides for the hardcores. When he did the Third Eye Girl shows a couple of years ago, when he did How Come She's Always in My Hair, half the building went bananas. The other half was like, what song is that? I don't know that one. You need
that's video, right? So.
I heard the Gold Standard on the radio today.
Yeah, I saw your post.
I was at work. It's so funny. They started playing that, and where I work at, the guys were like, "Hey, that's Prince." And he looked at me, and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Did I put that on?" He was like, "Oh man, this is the older dude. He's an older cat." And he was like, "This sounds like the old Prince. I like this." And he turned it up.
So the question I have, Mr. Dean, is did you go into full-on promo mode? Like, yeah, well, if you like that, we do a Prince podcast. We bring all
No.
Really? No, let me answer like this. Mr. Dean, did you tell him you had a paper? You wrote a paper?
You guys hilarious. Yeah, I got this Prince book here. No.
I'm just saying, if he was really pimping, you'd be like, "Oh, you like that? I got something real hot," and then put on "Did I Say?" That's what you did.
I wrote the paper about it.
Well, I know it's getting a little late, but there's two things I wanted to get into. One, we could save for Saturday, but just wanted to put it in your minds. So I did this piece, which is I'm surprised. Big Sexy ain't had nothing to say about it. I did this column for 401 Mania called "The Top 8 Blackwashed Characters," and we can go into more depth on Saturday. But one of the things that I found funny is with that title and with the content of the column that I wrote, it's amazing that all the white folk, all the white folk that had a problem with me saying that blackwashing isn't a problem and it's not as bad as whitewashing, blah blah blah. They've been quiet. However, I've gotten a ton of heat from these pseudo pro-blacks out there complaining, what the hell do you mean blackwashing? How is this blackwashing? And just pretty much just going in at me. And I'm just like, how does that work?
Well, I like the list, and I like the fact that you put on the Luke Cage from Fantastic Four 168 in there. That was part of a good storyline, and I did enjoy that. So I'm like, oh, he put that in there? I got no beef. It was a good list.
But it was just so funny. It's like I was getting all these random tweets from people like, "What do you mean blackwashing?" And he's like, "You sound like you've been brainwashed by the dominant white society. What the hell is this blackwash?" I'm like, "Look, are you aware of what's being said by closeted bigots within the fanboy community? They have a problem with a black Johnny Storm. They have a problem with a black Heimdall, who nobody gave a fuck about Heimdall till it was a brother in the character. So it's like, so I did was I just said, okay, yeah, there is blackwashing, and look how awesome it's been. I had Storm taking over leader as an X-Men.
Storm.
But the other thing is since all this hype for Spider-Man, I was just thinking like, fuck, how pissed off is Chadwick Boseman right now?
He's good, man. His money's coming. What you
I was gonna say, as long as that check is cleared, he ain't worried.
Good. He ain't tripping. He got a franchise waiting for him.
I don't know. I'm just saying. About 3-4 months ago, it was all about Black Panther. Black Panther was gonna get that slot that was supposed to be Spider-Man. Not only
he's still gonna get it.
I don't think so. I think they gonna. I mean,
you think they're gonna rush announce a Spider-Man cast and then redo the movie to have Spider-Man be the
Nah, they don't have to do that.
I think that my belief is Black Panther was going to get a prominent role in Captain America Civil War. Now that they have Spider-Man, I think that they're doing some rewrites, and Spider-Man is going to get a lot of the scenes that was going to go to Black Panther. That's my belief.
I would be shocked if they do that. I wouldn't be mad, but I'd be shocked. I would tell Marvel slow it down a little bit because they're getting ready to start shooting that movie, aren't they?
Yeah.
Then they'd be forced to come out with the cast of who Spider-Man is. Then they have to rewrite the script. That's a lot of changing, man.
Well, here's the thing. They could go the Walking Dead route where they debuted Michonne, but you never saw her face. Spider-Man got a full mask, so they could be shooting scenes with Spider-Man with somebody not as named person in the costume, and then cast the character, and maybe it's the last thing you see in the movie is him revealing his mask. And remember, they can overdub his voice.
They'd be pushing it, but they could do that. They'd be pushing it.
I'm just saying, like you said, it's business. You far gone understand that.
Nah, I hear you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we come to the end of Podcast Juice Live, unless there's anything else from the fellas. Nope. Big Sexy, you ain't got nothing?
New comic book night, so I'm good.
Shout out to our listeners out there. Shout out to our guest we had.
Crystal,
she said she was actually watching this. So shout out to you. Shout out to Keith. And some of the other names. You guys, I know some of the names we have on Facebook. Quentin.
Quentin.
Brandon. Yeah, Rock. What was that?
That's a Silver Rush.
Yeah.
I guess that Four Locos kicked in, huh?
He does have that pimp lean.
All right.
Hey, man, it's been a long day. All right, so we're going to go around the room like we like to do about this time and tell everyone where they can find us online. Let's start with Mr. Sean Hill. Did Palmer get that garlic bread done?
Can't hear you, sir.
I lost it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Did she get that garlic bread made?
Yeah, she got. Yeah. Well, that's why I had to mute the mic because she had come in here for something else. Yeah, she got her garlic bread, so never fear. Had to take care of that at the beginning of the show. All right, so you can find me on Twitter at Hill Street Views, also Facebook Sean Hill, and Real Movie Talk. Still doing the Oscar contest, so if you want to get in on that, hit me up, and I'll let you know how to get a ballot for that. Also, the blog, hillstreetviews.blogspot.com. Right now, my most read review is 50 Shades, so check that out if you hadn't already seen the movie or want to see it. Coming up will be a review of Hot Tub Time Machine 2, and again, I'm not saying this just to be nasty. The Legacy of 1999. That one's coming up too.
Oh, I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, that's right. That was the title of the piece. But the question I gotta ask you, Sean, is just gotta let us know: do they get in the water?
Well, and Hot Tub Time Machine 2, I would assume so. That's the whole crux of the movie. Them getting in there.
Anyway, Big Sexy, where can we find you, sir?
Man, you can find me in court all day today and all day tomorrow, but normally I can be found on Twitter, Big Sexy and Sack. On Facebook, usually beefing with Q-Storm under Mark Wiggins.
Oh, take the L, Q. Take the L.
Stop trolling for arguments, brother. You know what you're doing.
Tony Bennett and Stevie Wonder did know each other. Take the L. Just please. Take the L.
And he said it with such defiance, too. Like, yeah, I said it. Okay.
All right. I guess this is going to be saying Judas and Jesus weren't boys.
Oh, boy. Oh, here real quick. You can find me on Facebook, Michael Dean. Also follow Podcast Juice at Podcast Juice. There you go.
And I'm Ampu. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ampu. Follow me. I have a nice life, and I talk a lot of shit.
Yes, he does.
Did you hear his voice there?
Right.
You hear it all sexy there? And I'm Ampu, and you can find me on Twitter.
Thank you for joining us. And remember, we have our Work It Like a Job, Indiegogo. That Chairman's Reserve is kicking in. Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign going on. Please, if you enjoy the mini shows we do, the Prince Podcast, the Geeked Out, This Is What We Do, Place in This World, Two Nicks.
Ooh, we got a Place in This World for your ass coming, but
we'll
get on that later.
Cool. My favorite show.
Well, real quick, we'll give you the double pause for that statement. You find the link at PodcastJuice on Facebook and within Twitter, as well as within the details of this video. So, like we always say, work it like a job, and peace.